Hi guys, this is going to be a bargain store project. That's one where I buy stuff from a bargain store and convert it to something slightly different to what it was originally designed to do. I've got a request from Jboss2001 Gaming, I think his name is. Wants me to make a USB lamp to use on a computer. So that's what I'm going to do. But I suggest you watch the video all the way through to see the little bit that I'm going to add at the end before you make comments. Right, to start off with, we need a USB lead that we can plug into the USB port. So I've been to Poundland and bought a USB lead. Cost me £1. And then we need some LEDs. Well, because it's coming up to Halloween, this was a convenient pack of 20 LEDs designed to run off a little battery pack. 2 AA batteries, so that's expecting 3 volts or a little bit more when they're freshly out the box. So we're going to have 5 volts coming from the USB supply, and these are expecting 3 volts. It'll probably work. I expect there's probably a resistor in there already to take the voltage drop, so I can probably use that resistor on the end of this bit of wire. And then all I'm going to do is trail these LEDs around the computer screen, because he didn't actually specify what we were supposed to do with this light for the computer. I guess it's so you can see what you're typing on your laptop or whatever. So my suggestion in this case will be to use blue tack or something, or sticky tape, to stick these all around the screen or around the keyboard. First thing you need to do is know which wires are which. There's plenty of places you can look up on YouTube, or just generally search for the USB wiring diagram as to which one's which, but as I remember, it's the outside 2 wires are the positive and negative, and the middle 2 are the data, and we won't be worrying about the data in this case, and we don't need that connector either. We could spend more money and we could get a female connector to plug into the battery box, wire them up to the female connector, and then we can plug this in, but I'm not going to do that. That might be useful in the future, so I'll chop it off there somewhere. We can use that at some other time. Right, there's our wires. I stripped it rather roughly there, as you could see, and the 2 that are longest are the data wires, because I'm pretty sure it's the white and the red will be the power wires. So I'll strip that a little bit neater so we can actually work on it. Right, I'm not sure, so I'll actually put my meter on it, but I would expect it to be the red and the white, or pink and white as they are there. Try and touch the outside wires. Yep, I probably can't see the meter. So I'm touching that on one of the little tags inside the plug. Okay, so that's the one on the far right as I look at it. Let me try the white wire. Alright, so that's not the one I was expecting. In that case, what other colour might we have used? Always safest to check. Alright, well, I didn't expect that, but it was worth checking. It's actually that grey wire and that red wire. Feeling the wires, those two wires are slightly thicker than those wires, so that makes sense. Have your power wires a bit thicker so they can carry more current than the data wires. So we need these two and we don't need these two. I'll just snip them off at different lengths so they can't accidentally touch. So that's our two power wires. Right, in here, probably not particularly clear, but we have got a resistor there. And looking at it, it's brown, black, black, which, as I understand it, is 100 ohms off the top of my head. Brown I think is 1 and black is 0, 0, so 100 ohms. So that drops the voltage. Now, to make this very easy, I could just solder straight onto there, and we've also got an on-off switch then. I think I'll do that. That'll be quite convenient. Because the other thing we need to know is which way round is positive and negative of those two wires. So I've plugged it into a USB port just off the screen there, and the red wire, or pink, is positive, and the grey wire, which I suppose you could call black if it was slightly darker, is the negative. And we're getting 4.91 volts at the moment. So unplug that. So red is positive, grey is negative. So we can solder that straight onto these connectors. That shows the positive of the battery just there, so we can solder onto there. And that's the negative of the battery there, so we can solder onto there. That way round, and that'll be job done. I'll cut a little hole just here so that the cable can sit in there. In fact, I'll probably tie a knot in it as well to hold it in place. I'll just file the surface of those connectors so we can get a good solder joint. Okay. Positive to positive. Negative to negative. go. Push that in there. There we are, connected up. Plug that into the USB port. And there we are. There we are, job done. I'm assuming that we want to light the keyboard so we can see the buttons. So, there we are. Obviously if you wanted this to work really well you'd tidy it up a bit. I've just arranged them around the keyboard so you can see the general effect. And it's not very dark in my workroom anyway, so you don't get the full impression. And you could have used any colour LEDs you wanted. These happen to be orange. So that's my USB. Plug it into the USB port and we're on. Or if you really want to, you've got the extra switch there. So you can switch it on and off. And that cost me £2. But before we go any further, in the same bargain store you can buy this USB plug-in 5 LED light. And this one has the advantage of a nice stiff flexible lead so you can position the light anywhere you want. So I'd have bought this. It cost less and it works. Job done.